Welcome to our show, Dayas. We have named it The True Humans, where the goal is to bring the real human who defines humanity by helping other human. We know that we have a small non-profit Daya. So in accordance to grow that non-profit Daya, we are trying to reach like-minded people who are already established as community leaders, like Cephalogy. Cephalogy, first of all, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I
you.
am so much looking forward to it and get inspired from you even more. So yeah, if you want to talk quickly about your nonprofit, We Care charity, where you feed hundreds of hungry people, um, we would know what exactly.
Sure. So the concept of wanting to help people had always been there, but it grew stronger as time went on. And I believe in my guru, and of course also Shirdi Sai Baba. And it was always talking about, in scriptures or anywhere you see any scripture, doesn't have to be Hinduism, they talk about feeding people, and that's where I wanted to start to feed people. The need started to arise, turned into a burning desire at some point, and that's how I started 11 years ago.
Oh wow, okay, so
And
you've been
yes, so we started back in 2012,
yeah.
and I wanted to feed people, and I went in and I talked to many of the soup kitchens and the shelters, and you know they were all set at that time. And then one fine day when I was working, I was working full-time job at that time. I got a call from one of the shelters and soup kitchens, and they said that, would you like to cook today? And I was all excited, and we cooked for 200 people,
Oh
which was
wow.
a big jump.
Yeah.
And my husband joined in. I had very close friends, some of them, and they all came in, and we all cooked for 200. Now, cooking was fine, no problem. Serving was the most humbling experience of my life. And while I was serving, actually, I left halfway through and I went in the back and I threw up. I felt physically ill serving so many people at such a level that I
Yeah.
didn't realize, even though I grew up here, I came here when I was 12 from India,
Yeah.
that the poverty is such a point where, we are so oblivious to what's going on around us. And I was not in India, I was not in another country or another state, I was in my own town, and I just felt sick that this is how bad it is, and I didn't realize it.
Wow.
And the kitchen manager who followed me out said to me that, you'll be back. And I said, I don't think I can do this. And he said, anybody who feels physically ill like that, they usually do something about it. And at that time, I didn't quite understand what he meant, but yeah, he was absolutely right. So we asked if we could serve again and cook again. And they have a vetting process at that time, and they used to ask the people what they thought of my food and on and on. And after about 2 weeks later, he said, would you like to come back again? And I said, yes. And we did it for about 3 months. And then he gave me fourth Saturday of the month to cook on a permanent basis.
Wow.
And that was, as I said, 11 years ago.
Wow.
And it's been a snowball effect. Fast forward today, we cook and serve at 23 different shelters.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable, right? And as you were telling your story, how you threw up, I'm not going to lie, but I got goosebumps.
Yeah,
You got
I
into
was physically ill.
right. So it's
And that happens sometimes to people, and it's not always that they want to help, it's just sometimes they're just not used to something like that.
yeah.
And I just felt very um what's the word, helpless at that time, that there's so many people who need help.
Yeah.
And and there isn't anything I'm able to do. But I can't say that now. I am able to help them, so it's a good feeling.
Yeah, I cannot tell how inspiring that was. And I think at some point we all go through that phase, right? Like
Yeah,
you transcend, like you want to do really something that would add value to your existence and to their. And that's so hard though sometimes to keep it that way all the time. We all think, but not that everyone can do it. And you,
correct,
yeah, right. We all want to be
correct.
useful, and we feel the best when we feel useful. Like you could help someone in a selfless way. We all think we want
Especially
to do it.
especially doing the groundwork. See, what happens here, in a lot of times, and I'm not sure about what other charities do, but a lot of them they send money to India,
Yeah.
which is great, which is I think is fantastic. But to actually doing the groundwork is when you really realize, when you're with the people, when you talk to them, when you understand their issues, their needs, their concerns, and how they feel about situations. You feel more humbled.
Yeah.
So that's what we felt. That's what I felt.
Absolutely. And then I'm in my mid 40s. So, and then you kind of start figuring it out, like what is really important to your life. And then even with Daya, when we talk to Gloria and she shows us pictures, that will literally break our heart, seeing that,
Yeah,
oh my God, I
yeah,
create so many small problems. Look at them. Like it's so much, like you said, it keeps you humble. It
yeah, and puts your lives in perspective also.
absolutely,
For
yeah.
me, it does at least.
Yeah, and I've been following you, like honestly, I've been following you, like how effortlessly you do, how selflessly you do things, and it's not easy, right? It's not easy. Like sometimes you feel tired, and what thing wanted to ask, like sometimes not that people perceive the way you want them to perceive, right? Sometimes you get the negative feeling, like some negative vibes. So how do you combat negative from people?
It's a process.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I
It's a
think so.
process. So
But
negativity comes sometimes, for those who want to do it but can't, they get upset.
yeah,
Um, I've been fortunate. I've had, I would say I always go by an 80-20 rule. I used to explain myself a lot more to people who are negative, but now I'm at a point where within 5 minutes of conversation, I know where this conversation is headed. It's experience and age combined. And I just yes my way out and steer clear of people like that. There have been people who have tried to put me down. There have been people who tried to bring my organization down, accuse me of things.
yeah,
We've come out of all of that. We've learned our lessons. We know who to trust. And one of the biggest comeback to this is my board of directors.
yeah,
They are very strong. I am the kind of person who wants to help everybody all the time, no
yeah,
matter what.
yeah,
And I go by, I know we have meetings, monthly meetings, and I actually run it by them before now. And if I want to help somebody, I'll help somebody. It's not that. But if it's a new project, new requirement, we
yeah.
run it by them so that they keep me grounded. That's the word I'm trying to say.
Wow.
They make decisions that, sometimes, I don't quite understand. It's like, what do you mean no? But they'll tell me why. And it makes sense at the end of the game.
Yeah.
They've never held me back, but at the same time, they do keep me grounded. They do keep me in check so that I'm not, it's not just helping people. When you say help people, you got to spend money.
Yeah,
It's not
exactly.
free.
Yeah,
If I'm giving advice to somebody or hugging somebody or consoling somebody, I don't need anybody to help me with that. But
yeah,
when somebody says, hey, I need you to feed 200 people on the street
yeah,
5 days a week, now we're talking money.
yeah,
I need help with that. So that's where they come in. So I would tell a new organization, such as yours coming up, get strong board of directors who are not afraid to say no, yet who are extremely compassionate, because that's the key. You are in the compassion business.
yeah.
You can't have people who are only looking at numbers and
Right.
say
Yeah,
yes and no. It's always gray. It's never clear. It's never black and white.
yeah. So just kind of keep it going, but it's like I feel like you're trying to say is we need to find the right like-minded people who are
People.
like strong, compassionate, as well as like you said,
Yeah,
they need to say no when needed.
correct.
Yeah,
And who have been around the block a couple times,
yeah,
so it's like starting in think of a charity is starting a business. It's like that.
right.
And if everybody's new to it,
Yeah,
then you're all going to make the same mistake. But
yeah,
if you have out of 5 people, at least in New Hampshire, you need 5 or 5. I believe there are 5 people. If you have 5, 3 out of 5 have been around the block a couple times, then they'll warn you saying, hey, wait a minute. Or, you discuss for so-and-so did something like that regarding the charity. You say, okay, you know what? Ignore that person. Don't worry about it. You need someone
yeah,
who's a sounding board, you
yeah.
know?
Okay, that's
So,
a very good way of putting it.
yeah.
Yeah, That's absolutely.
Yeah, but you do get people who are negative. You do get
Yeah.
people, but the positive outruns the negative, at least in my case.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I try to ignore the noise and
Yeah.
I focus on what I need to do.
That's great and so inspiring. Like maybe that's why you could keep going until 11 years. 11 years is a long time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not easy again. It needs a lot of patience, a lot
Yes.
of perseverance. So yeah, one more thing. So I know like these all say that behind every man, there is a successful woman. And running a nonprofit for that many years, I'm sure it's not that easy.
No,
So behind a strong woman, I would ask, was there a strong man or like,
absolutely.
okay, yeah.
My husband of 33 years.
Oh wow, okay. Wow, that's so like that's
And
amazing.
when I started this 11 years ago, he was in on it with me.
Wow.
And he was the, main cook. He knew how to scale up things,
Yeah.
I knew how to cook for 10, he knew how to cook for 200.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
he did it for years and years. And
yeah,
now I have enough help and enough volunteers that I don't need him to come and help me.
yeah,
But I need him in different ways, in helping, in talking, and
yeah.
communicating different projects. And before I bring it to the board, I discuss, of course, with him what his thoughts are. So he's very, very much active.
Yeah.
So he would be my rock. He would be the person.
Okay, yeah, I must say you got lucky then on that case, yeah.
I'm very fortunate. Yes.
That's yeah, blessings, yeah, blessings. So then, so far in 11 years of experience, what would you say what have been the most rewarding experience? Like,
The most rewarding experience, I would have said if you had asked me a few years ago, is to help people, feeding people and clothing people. And no, the most rewarding experience now for me is seeing somebody turn their life around.
wow,
So we help people, for example, on the streets. We have one of my board of directors. I used to go 2 days a week in
mhm,
Lowell and Manchester to feed people. And these are people on the streets who didn't even have a shelter.
wow,
So we would put food in my car. I would make subs and I would put it in my car. And I would go and I would open up the trunk and just yell out, "Hey, anybody hungry?" And I
wow,
would have a line of people.
oh my God,
And then they knew that I come every Wednesday or every Tuesday or what have you. And they knew the area. And it started off with 5 people, 10 people, turned into 80 people line.
wow,
And used to serve all of them. Now, one of my board of directors, she took over one of the towns, Lowell, where she goes now and feeds people. That's what I mean. You need compassionate board of directors as well,
yeah,
who also wants to do the work and not just sit on the board.
right, okay, wow,
And now I go to Manchester, New Hampshire. I used to always go,
yeah,
but we increased it. Now I go twice a week to Manchester and we feed people there on the streets. One of the things that I would say take away that from answering your question is I also own a food pantry
oh, you do own it, okay,
in Salem, New Hampshire. Yeah, we do. My board and I, it's We Care Charity Food. I keep saying I, but it's we
yeah,
really.
yeah,
It's I started it, so I keep saying I in the process. But we get homeless people there in the food pantry, along with the poor who need help.
okay,
Now we've helped about 4 people so far to get jobs.
wow,
4, 3 actually not only got jobs, but they turned their life around. They went into the shelter, then they got apartment, and now they not only don't come to the food pantry anymore, they donate.
wow, oh my God, my heart is so
And
full listening to it.
and I don't mean donate big
Yeah,
money, even if they can donate. I got a check just the other day for $10 from her
doesn't matter, like,
saying, "This is my first paycheck and I wanted to give back and thank you."
wow, I mean,
That is rewarding.
absolutely, wow,
That is more rewarding than feeding and clothing, and which we continue, and there is reward in there, don't get me wrong,
yeah,
but
of course, yeah,
this is much more, you
yeah,
know.
and I'm sure that person who donated to your org, he must feel grateful and thankful that
Yeah,
yeah, so
she
that's right, that
yeah, and actually, to be frank with you, she didn't even have a ride for interview. I took her myself. And I talked to the manager at local fast food
yeah,
saying that, hey, listen, she's from a shelter and she needs help.
yeah,
And I would appreciate it personally, and they know me in my town because I've been doing this for a long time, that if you can help her out. Another person I took to Market Basket, regular grocery store,
Yeah.
and she is, she was in the back in the meat department. She was cutting meats, and
Yeah.
she couldn't deal with people. She
Yeah.
had her own issues,
Yeah.
but she was in the back cutting meats quietly with her headphones on. And even those were donated. And we used to arrange rides for her to pick up and drop off.
Oh, wow. Look, oh
We
my
had
God.
volunteers.
How inspiring and how encouraging these stories are. You literally
So
changing someone's life. Like,
correct. So
oh,
now those four people, one of them actually is enrolling. To be honest with you, she's telling me she just finished her paperwork. She's enrolling for the fall semester to go to college.
oh my God. And
It's a community college,
this is
and
brilliant. Wow.
she actually had one of a donor who not through us but through another organization who's paying for her college.
Wow. Look at that. I mean,
And
the
she's
growth.
enrolling. She's enrolling in nursing.
Oh my
And
God.
she's going to start from scratch because she's just a high school graduate. She doesn't have, life happened to her and she was on streets and what have you, but she's turning it around.
Wow. But
So,
like meeting with those people, like you said, it gives you perspective. Like everything
yeah,
around changes. Like look at them. And
exactly.
look at you helping, reaching out to those people who are really in need. And I'm sure,
And
yeah, that's,
And in the process, I have come across a lot of good organizations,
yeah.
Americans
Mhm.
and Indian, but mainly Americans,
Yeah.
who help these people. So, for example, there's an organization called Isaiah 58 in my town. They
Okay.
help the homeless. So when the homeless comes to me, I send it to Isaiah 58. They
Okay.
help them any which way they can. Worst case scenario, they put them in like one of those day motels.
Okay. Yeah.
So they have a room. It's not the best of everything, but
But
at least they have a roof over their head.
exactly. Yeah.
We feed them.
Yeah.
Then I have another organization that does giving clothes and showers to those who are literally on the streets. I work with another shelter who does other things. So it adds up. And then I work with this organization that this donor who really wants to remain anonymous, but he and his family, they have a fund set up for people who want to go to college, who want to educate themselves. So I don't do all of it, of course, but I know of these organizations and we come together.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
how
like
we help out.
forming the circle of
Correct.
networks.
For a full life. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. I'm learning so much. Yeah. Wow. That's like you said, it's a process. You have to be persistent
Process.
and be patient. Like sometimes run out of patience. I feel like you need to have an enormous amount of patience to keep up with the process and the pace.
It's actually, it's not just patience, it's it's a lot of ups and downs in the process,
Yeah.
and it's consistency. That's what it has taught me. You need to be consistent at what you do. You can't say, okay, I want to do this weekend, but next weekend I don't want to, I'm busy. It demands consistency.
I see.
And once you have it, then of course, as time goes on, you just get better at it.
Yeah. I'm
I
sure
mean,
that.
we missed so many of events and so many get-togethers and so many parties and so many whatevers,
Yeah. Right.
but we've done it because that's what we believed in. Now we're in a good place. It's been 11 years.
Yeah.
We're in a good place where I feel like, okay, if I miss one day, it's okay,
Yeah.
but not in the beginning.
So for the initial years, you literally have to put your heart, soul, like if you really believe in it. Yeah. Okay. That's yeah. Like you said, consistency is the key
Yeah.
to be consistent. Okay. Yeah. That was eye-opening experience. I'm sure I'll have a lot more to learn from you.
Oh, anytime you want to talk to me, I'll be more than happy to.
Yeah. So
We
now,
also have programs in India, by the way.
oh, in India too. So you have
Yeah.
people in India who does.
So
Uh,
we have we work with a nonprofit organization
yeah.
in India, two of them, and one we just started, and the other one we've been feeding before COVID days. And during COVID, we ramped up and we feed kids and adults in a place called Dharampur. It's in Gujarat,
Okay.
and we feed people there. These are tribal people,
Mhm.
and we feed the kids there who are, a lot of them are orphans, a lot of them are just single parents and stuff like that. So we feed them. And we also ship clothes to India. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not actually.
Yeah, we ship gently used saris, salwar kameez, stuff like that.
Is that right? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we've shipped so far about 23,000 pounds of clothes in the
Wow.
last many years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. Like, it's
So we do that as well. But that's about it for India. 95% of our work is here in our backyard because this is where,
yeah.
you
And
know,
people are, look at the people around you, like how they're growing from right from on the street to someone staying in an apartment, someone working and getting
Yep.
into college. Wow.
Yep.
Those are life-changing experiences.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm very fortunate to witness that.
yeah, and blessed, right? It's,
Yeah, absolutely. Blessings. Yes.
and I'm sure it's a lot of your effort. You're just being too humble not to take it all on you, but yeah, I'm sure. So that's
It's,
why, yeah, something
I
about,
mean, yeah, it's work, but it's a progress every day.
yeah, okay, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, so now we can move on to the second round, which is going to be
Sure.
fun. So it'll be like a rapid fire round. I got inspired from one or two talk shows. So I'm going to be asking like quick 7, 10 questions. Tell me the first word that comes to your mind. What's your favorite movie?
Sholay.
Soleil, okay. Any particular character?
Amitabh.
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
a diehard fan, sorry.
Okay, yeah. And me too, yeah. No one can beat him, right?
Yep.
Favorite song?
Silsila.
From the movie Silsila or
Yep.
okay from the okay
Yep.
that one in the flower garden.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's okay.
Eka Ekwab,
Yeah, right. And then favorite vacation spot?
Jamaica.
Jamaica. Wow. Okay. The food or what excites you there? The weather or the food?
People.
People. Wow. More
Yeah.
humble. I'm sure.
Very calm. Very calm.
Okay.
And it doesn't feel like American touristy place. It just
Yeah,
feels
right. Yeah,
uh,
like no one is
yeah.
trying to market or sell anything. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Favorite food to eat?
Pani Puri.
Oh, okay. Great. Me too. Yeah. And favorite food to cook?
Oh, chicken tikka masala.
Oh, wow. Okay. Favorite outfit?
Sari.
Okay. And three things that you always carry in your purse when you step out of the house.
3 things I always carry in my purse.
Yeah.
My wallet, cash, and my glasses.
Okay. Yeah. No. Wallet and cash, I would put it on one. So you have to give me one more.
Oh,
Yeah.
wallet, cash, glasses, sanitizer, hand
Okay. Yeah.
sanitizer.
Well, that was pretty quick and we finished before time. Like you did amazing. And any last piece of advice you'd like to give for aspiring community leaders like me who wants to help and but seeing some roadblocks? How do you overcome and how do you, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I just had one line to say, but
yeah,
love from your heart,
yeah. Okay.
dare to take chances,
Yeah.
never look back.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna remember that. Yeah, yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sefali ji.
Of course, thank you.